Master Witcher. Some unknown individual barged into the residence. I resisted as best I could, but to no avail.
Who is it?
Alas, they did not do me the basic courtesy of introducing themselves.
Unexpected as ever. And beautiful as ever.
Won't you even ask why I've come? Or how I found you?
Wouldn't get a straight answer anyway.
Quite true.
Used to bother me, all your secrets. Now I know if you have something to tell me, you'll tell me. Don't need to ask.
I missed you, Geralt. Madly. Come outside. We can hold hands and stare at the sky. Like some shitty two-crown romance.
Brought quite a few books. Let me guess. Working on a new spell?
Not at all. These aren't grimoires, just pleasure reading. The Name of the Orchid. A widower for half a year.
Always thought you too busy to make time for something as impractical as pleasure reading.
Because I was. But now, I'm not. A few weeks ago, I awoke to the realization that I know not what to do next. I have no plan. I have no goal. And you know what? I like that. Finally, I can focus on what's important to me, which is why I came here.
Liking Toussaint so far?
The landscape's lovely, and the towns are charming, no question about that.
But
But the southern sun plays havoc with my wardrobe. To be blunt, wear black down here and you're pretty damn hot.
might need to think about changing your color palette. Off-white and pea green, for instance.
And I'll wear scents distilled from turnips and daisies. I think I shall simply stay in the shade. And you'll bring me cool drinks.
You know, feels kinda strange having a home.
I must say I never pictured you owning real estate.
Was something of an accident, but I'm not about to complain. Yen, back then, before we fought the hunt, said you wanted to run away with me to the world's end. This vineyard, good enough?
Yes, although there's one thing missing.
Namely?
I shall give you a hint. It's large, white, has 4 legs, category taxidermy.
Oh yeah, the unicorn. Fine, you can bring it down here.
I knew you'd see things my way.
Ever thought this day would come? Me and you, peace and quiet. Bees buzzing, birds chirping.
I almost regret delaying so long before coming to you. I was quite the silly goose.
You have doubts? Though I imagine it might have been hard coming after me. Always were proud as a peacock.
Please, Geralt. I'm not like other sorceresses to feel that following someone means my wings have been clipped.
Ooh, watch what you say about your colleagues. Remember, it's an ill bird that fouls its own nest.
Well said, Witcher. You're not only handsome, but wise, too. I feel a bit like the cat that got the canary.
Yeah, and I'm... Damn it, you win. This time.
Ha!
How'd that start, anyway? Our duels and wordplay.
Forgotten. It was at a vernissage in Banard. You started it to keep from going mad with boredom. I remember finding your sense of humor both groan-worthy and somehow endearing. Never change, Geralt. I beg you.
Talk again later?
Of course. I'm not going anywhere.
Geralt, here at last.
Dandelion? What the hell are you doing here?
I'm not here. I'm a figment of your imagination, 'cause you really want me to be here. Brought you a housewarming gift. It's also an illusion. How do you like it?
You shouldn't have. Really, not everyone likes seeing you first thing in the morning.
Come on, don't be dramatic. This is the guest room. If you ask me, it belongs here. Fits this space like a warm glove. Now for some serious business. If anyone asks, I'm not here. Last time I was in Beauclair, admittedly enjoying myself, Anna Rieta,
Dandelion.
that is, the Duchess,
Dandelion.
got a bit carried away.
Dandelion. Anna Henrietta. She's dead.
What? But... how?
Come on. Got a story to tell you for a change. Sadly, I couldn't stop Sienna. She killed her own sister. Just one small consolation. Sienna's dead too.
Is that so? Gods. What a terrible, terrible loss. She was the morning sun striking dew. Vibrant butterfly among dun moths. Should have ridden down here with you. Might have done something together to avert this.
Plan to kick around Beauclair long?
I rode here with the specific intention of staying a while. Priscilla voiced no objections. But since my Honorietta, that is, the Duchess, is gone, there's no point. She meant too much to me. Can't possibly walk these streets now knowing I'll never see her again.
What's new, old friend?
Priscilla's much better, and our relationship's a budding flower blossoming in the spring sun.
You two still together?
Don't act so surprised. The woman was made for me, as I was for her. She told me so.
Know how many times I've heard that some woman was made for you?
Nah, love's blunders. Who's never made one? I hadn't met Priscilla yet. Now I know she's my heart's captor.
How's business? You and Zoltan still have your tavern? Or has he embarked on some new venture?
You know him. We'll share a jug of mead and he'll go on about some new plan he's got. Nothing ever comes of it. So, we're still there. Recently, we discovered Novigrad's largest wine importer was a lying cheat, watering down his wines, but so clever, you'd never taste the difference.
So how'd you figure out he was up to something?
This one day I was feeling down in the muck. Decided to lift my spirits by, well, getting a little drunk. Actually, replace a little with really. So I knocked back a bottle, nothing. Then another. Maybe a slight buzz.
Might not be a lightweight anymore. Could be those years of training have finally paid off.
Come on! It took me 5 bottles to start seeing double. I thought, might just be a weird day. So I tried the same thing the next morning. Exact same result. I told Zoltan. He tried it and confirmed my findings. So we decided to ask the importer some tough questions. The man cracked. I threatened to tell everyone about his trickery unless he gave me a discount.
See you later, Dandelion.
See you, Witcher.
You're tormented. By what?
Forgive me, but I must ask directly. Are you a man? I no longer trust my senses.
Not exactly. I'm a witcher. Quite a few folk think I don't deserve to be classified as a member of the human species. Know some personally.
A witcher? But no, nor can you help me.
We'll see. Just tell me what the problem is.
A foulness, a demon or wraith haunts me, grants me no rest. It wants something. I sense this, but know not what. Each day it appears, tarries, then leaves. It's here now, there, beyond the trees.
Don't see a thing.
Of course not. It cannot be seen.
Yet you see it?
Only when I drink the brew, which brings a pain to my head, nausea. But I endured these to keep an eye on the wraith.
This demon of yours, can you describe it?
It is an enormous horse, its hoofbeats pounding in the dark. It gallops to me, stops, stares, then runs on.
Sure it's not just a wild horse, run-of-the-mill?
The creature is not of this world. When it gazes at me, a terrible chill pervades my soul. It is evil condensed. Its eyes black, void. Each time it comes, terror grips me. I cease what I'm doing, still my breath and heart.
Gotta wonder what's causing such strong visions. You drop in some mushroom, jumper tub, dancing dewlap?
Close. The common grey top. I see you know your herbs.
Grey top? Variety's extinct if I recall correctly.
Nearly, but not quite. I was able to grow a few from dried spores. I'd hoped a brew of grey top would reveal this nightmare. I was not wrong.
Far as I know, grey top produces some powerful side effects. Though it can, in fact, reveal the hidden, the immaterial.
Yes, I see the evil. Better that than to know it is there, but not know where.
You seem sure something's out there. I'll see what I can do. Start by taking a look around.
Witcher.
Heard flagellants whip themselves to atone for all humankind's wrongs, to appease the gods, gain their forgiveness. That why you do it?
We've each our own reasons. I seek to atone for the suffering of a living being, which once fell victim to another's vanity. I care not for humankind, preferring instead the company of animals.
Most likely some kind of wraiths tormenting you. Can't tell what kind, though. Felt weak, spent lately? Noticed bite marks on your skin?
As I said, I feel weaker by the day. And bites, of course. There are lice and midges here aplenty.
This isn't lice. Something much bigger drinks your blood while you sleep.
But I do not sleep. Not a wink. He's always present, always watching. I cannot bear it any longer.
Sadly, not much I can do. Can't exterminate it if I can't see it.
The grey top. I shall make a brew of it for you. I've 2 mushrooms left, enough for 1 dose. Perhaps then you'll see what I do.
Even in me, could produce some nasty, unpredictable side effects. A proper brew could be our only chance to figure this out. If I start muttering something about unicorns or sorceresses, ignore it.
Wow, this clover's amazing. Now that's what I call a bouquet.
Who said that?
You're awake. Had me worried. You were out way too long. Even considered giving you some white honey. Kinda hard to do with hooves, though.
Roach? Must be the brew that did this. Interesting side effect.
Great, isn't it? You should take this stuff more often. Got so many pointers I could give you.
Hey, know how you always show up when I whistle? How's that work exactly?
Well, you're my human. Gotta be there when you need me. Yes, I'll be there for you, ooh, as the world falls down.
Listen, got this contract I need to finish before the brew wears off.
Right, monster won't slay itself. Let me see. First up, I need to know what we're dealing with. Follow me, and try not to trample any plants or small animals. Right, Geralt. Let's sum up what we know so far.
Don't know much. It's a spirit of some sort. Torments the hermit for some unknown reason. It's immaterial, so I've got no idea how to fight it. If we can even find it, that is.
Geralt, please, I got this. It's definitely an Umbra, an immaterial wraith. This one's assumed the form of a horse.
An Umbra actually makes sense. Umbrae are completely invisible, even to Witchers. But how can you be sure?
Because it's not invisible to me, Doofus. It's right over there. It's getting away! Come on, Witcher! Hop in the saddle! Gotta catch it!
Marcello Clarici, knight. Died last year. Was more or less the same age as our hermit. Seems his spirit's become a horse-shaped umbra that's tormenting Penastri.
Why are you telling me this? I can read and draw my own conclusions.
Thinking aloud, that's all. Helps me focus.
Geralt, it's the Umbra! Attack!
Let me explain.
Talk, but make it fast. Why are you tormenting the hermit?
She torments me, refuses to forgive me. I'm denied peace in the afterlife, and it's all her doing. Each day I come and beg her for clemency.
Beg her for clemency. You drink her blood, drive her mad with fear.
I don't know how to explain it, but yes, a monstrous force takes me. Though I also know I'll not have peace till the day Penastri forgives me.
You and the hermit, how do you know each other?
We met as babes, grew up side by side. I loved her. Yet she was always sad. Nothing could cheer her. The world terrified her. I thought her gloom came from being poor. So I did my damnedest to take us from our village, make us a better life elsewhere. Became a squire, took her with me to the palace. But Penastri soon learned nobles are no more decent than peasants, not a speck. Once even I'd grown vile to her eyes, she fled the palace and joined the flagellants. I left the court to be near her, yet she cast me off. Said she didn't want to know me. When the whip bearers proved too hard-hearted for her too, she became a hermit. I see it clearly now, though I never understood her while alive. From the grave's dark depth, the living are bright, sharp flares. You see all their thoughts at once. Now I understand why she had to cast me off.
She's full of rage. Probably what turned you into an umbra. Why take the form of a horse?
A horse? What do you mean? Each day since I died, a power lifts me from my grave and makes me run. Then I return with blood in my mouth. I don't know what this is, how it comes to pass, but I do know the torment will continue until she forgives me. But she sees me as a horse, you say?
Must have heard her something awful if she refuses to forgive you. Would rather see you suffer. What did you do?
To her? Nothing. But my horse, I flogged it to death. Penastri, she saw this. Proud stallion, my Blaze. But he was a bucker, and tossed me during a tourney. One I'd wanted to win badly. Penastri had been so glad they'd let me stand. Me, a peasant's son. I wanted to win it for her. But that horse made me loose. Rage overcame me. I struck and struck until at last he fell. Oh, the regret. I beg you, forgive me. Absolve me in Blaze's very name.
Can't forgive you for that. Not in my power.
But your horse could? Please, I'd do anything. I'm desperate. Help me. Noble mare, forgive me my sin.
Could free his spirit, pardoning him on behalf of his horse. But you shouldn't do it if you don't think he deserves forgiveness.
Did a rotten thing. Got no excuse. Your horse was loyal. Did the best damn job he could. 'Cause that's how we horses are.
True. I know I deserved what befell me.
But we aren't vengeful, don't hold grudges, don't dwell on being left in monster-infested woods. So, in your poor Blaze's name, I forgive you.
Oh, thank you. I feel it's incredible. Such relief, such lightness.
All right then. Guess we might as well head back. Penastri's nights ought to be ghost-free from now on. Anything to add, Geralt?
Nope. Let's go see her. Phantom's gone. Shouldn't torment you ever again.
I felt a change. I did. As if I'd been released from a cramped dunk cellar. I had come to believe no one could help me. I'm grateful, Witcher. As agreed, your reward. With my thanks.
Ought to thank my horse, actually. Phantom's departure, mostly Roach's doing.
Then I thank you too, noble creature.
Gotta admit, easy peasy with our powers combined. So, what now? We hit the path? Ride to the nearest notice board? Rustle up another contract?
Exactly. Though, effects of the bruise waning. I can feel it. Won't be able to understand you soon.
That's horseshit. I mean, I got so much more I want to tell you, and...
Clever beasts' horses. Farewell, Witcher.
You look good.
Thought I'd never see you again.
Well, I've departed, escaped, been forced to flee so many times. Yet, I always returned. You ought to be used to it by now. I like coming back into your life.
I'm just glad you're here.
You fixed the place up nicely.
Thanks. Got the house from the Duchess as a down payment for killing the beast. Come outside. Let me show you the grounds.
Ah, it's lovely here. I could stay forever.
Come on. You wouldn't like it.
Why not?
Be bored to death. No orders to sign, no subjects to sentence to torture and death.
I intend to do no such thing, ever. And I don't set my name to any orders just yet. I'm being groomed. Emir's idea. So he sent me and a flock of advisors off on a tour of the provinces. Which essentially means they take turns lecturing me while I follow them about, scribbling notes.
Plan to stay in Beauclair a while?
A bit. I convinced my advisors we'd be unwise to depart before I tasted each of this year's wines. My knowledge would be incomplete, you see. Though, actually,
just between you and me, I'm not certain I'm cut out to rule, govern, all that.
Thinking you might give it up?
I can't say just yet, but I'm not willing to rule it out.
Preparations for the coronation coming along?
Not at all. I told him I'm in no hurry. I must see what the whole thing's about first. Acquaint myself with the Empire's institutions, laws, and so forth.
No pressure from Emir to speed things along?
He tried, but I told him I wish to be a good ruler, a strong ruler, not some puppet.
No one else in the world he'd give in to like that.
I had nothing to do with that. There's just no one else in the world who's his daughter. Speaking of which, as the future Empress, I could secure you a comfortable position as court witcher.
Thanks, but just not my thing, that. My place is on the path.
I know. Still, had to try.
How fares your venerable father?
He seems younger, quite rejuvenated. Abandoning high-level politics seems to have done it. It's as if the very awareness of peace grants him strength, which most likely is the case.
Think he'll keep his word?
I think that depends on me. If he feels I'm up to the task, he'll head out to pasture. Yes.
And if he doesn't?
Then there'll be nothing to stop him from returning. He hasn't ever had a problem changing his mind.
See you later, Ciri.
Take care of yourself.